Thanks for staying with us. So, it's a gisting Thursday, but this gist is essential to everyone because we've been concerned about Nigeria, and part of our concern is how do we get better leadership? How do we get better people in positions of power? Now, we're already in the political season, and many political parties are now declaring the conditions for presidency and different positions. APC released the bombshell yesterday, and it's made the news everywhere this morning. We're going to be discussing the cost of aspiration form, the cost for expression. So BC mentioned it during the newspaper review that presidential expression, that's you are indicating I am interest, that's your interest, will cost you 30 million naira to show you are interested. Before you will now pay 70 million naira for the form itself. And then you also have a 3 million naira interest form if you are going to become a senator. So we want more women in place of power, and they've done a bit of concession for women. They say women would only pay for the interest and not pay for the form itself. They've also done concession for young people that if you are less than 40, between 25 to 40, you would only pay 60%. They've given all the young people 40% discount. Are these discounts good enough? Is the price good enough, considering that we're complaining currently that the cost of election is too high? That's our topic for today. Join the conversation.
100 million.
Please, let me give you our numbers. Call us on 081-270-53687, or you can call us on 091-390-76984. Now, the number is already on your screen. Quickly screenshot it, or quickly take a picture. Don't be calling us and saying you did not get in touch. Try. We want to hear from you as well. YK, 100 million naira.
100 million.
But this is just from APC now.
This is just to buy I want to be president from APC, not campaign. The one that we give INECO, not the one that you use to campaign. This is just, I want to contest, and I might lose. Now, my question to them is this. If you are buying a form of 100 million, when you reach there, you will first want to recoup that 100 million before you start any work.
That is in the realm. That is in the realm of speculation. That is
don't bring your lawyer work here.
Speculation.
Don't bring your lawyer work. I'm talking as a citizen. I'm talking as a concerned citizen.
No, but
speculation.
But YK, we have seen many cases where people will say, my community, people who believe and trust me, gathered the money and bought a form for me.
Coke for you.
Solo Coke, thank you. I'm watching my weight.
They did not say that this is how much you as an aspirant have to pay. They said the cost.
Of what?
Of the form.
From whose pocket?
It doesn't have to.
In a country where we are all broke,
individual. Good.
In a country where we are supposed to be broke.
Speak for yourself.
So you have money.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Let me speak for myself. You will say her name again. Because you are not saying you have 100 million.
Okay.
I'm not saying no. Don't put words in my mouth.
He's saying speak for yourself.
We cannot fund education. We cannot fund health. We are looking for subsidy for petrol. Every day the government comes on giving we are broke. So that means that...
Michael, let me hear from
everything.
Michael, let me hear from BC.
So I remember that in 2014, this same president condemned the fee, which was just a 27.5 million nomination fund for presidency, and he condemned it, said it was exorbitant. It was wasteful. Today, he's in a party that they're going to be paying 100 million. So what changed from that 2014 to now in his mindset that he can allow this? I also thought that the president was someone who came in to help us organize ourselves, to help us be more prudent. What changed from that time to now that we're saying? So for me, I just feel they are making it for people who have looted, because a normal citizen who is going to, let's start from a businessman. A businessman will not want to put 100 million into something you're not even sure of.
No guarantee.
No guarantees. So you go and keep 100 million. What if you don't get the ticket? What if you lose out of the election? That's one. A normal citizen, we have had a lot of young people saying, I want to contest for this position. I want to
They've given them 40% discount.
Disenfranchise them by this amount of money that you have mentioned.
Okay, so I want to now...
percent is still 60 million.
Forget about this percent.
No. The 40% is not 60 million. Let's do the calculation well. 40% is not 60 million.
This conversation now that, you know, we mentioned that people can contribute, this is our sister here, that people can contribute money. There's nothing like that. People are suffering right now. People are struggling right now. A lot of people are not... We have a lot of out-of-school children. On the show here, we always mention them in the newspapers. They do not have money to feed. A lot of people do not have access to medical care. Please, which category of Nigerians are the ones going to fund this 100 million for one person? Tell me the category of people. Someone like me.
She's APC, let her talk.
No, hold on. Please, I want us to stay.
That's one aspect. I'm not finished.
Yes, we'll come. I want to
stay. I'm wearing my bullet jacket.
Yes, you're okay. And I think that the conversation, I like the conversation, and I want it to be very rich, so that people watching don't just have this idealistic expectation of what the price should be or what the party should be. Because my thought was, like BC asked, what caused the change in price? But then we all know there's inflation in the country.
No, what caused the change in mindset?
Well, for the presidency, no, we cannot answer for the presidency.
Let me provide some clarity.
Thank you.
Even though I'm a partisan politician, I'm APC, I'm a Nigerian and I need to be objective.
Okay.
You know, I believe that I belong to the new breed of politicians. Now, first of all, let us be clear. The presidency and the party are two separate institutions.
They can influence one another.
Yes, absolutely. Just like, you see, the judiciary, for example, and the executive, they're two separate arms of government, all right? So I do not think that we should say because President Muhammad Buhari is a member of APC, he makes all the decisions for the party. He can, and he may.
He's a major.
We want to see that influence.
He has been a fair leader who has said, look, we're all matured adults. You heard what he said yesterday when he said, let the party not try to impose anybody.
Yes.
That is a man that can say, I'm bringing this person, but say, you know what?
I'm not going to.
That is number one.
Okay,
number two, I want to make it clear, like I said jokingly, that what the party has said expressly is this is how much it's going to cost. And let's be honest with ourselves. There is a level of pedigree that you expect from somebody that is going to be the president of the nation.
We are changing the pedigree now.
No. There's a level of pedigree.
Is pedigree determined by money?
Thank you. No. We're changing
let me read something to you. As we're talking, you know, I Googled something. And I was saying, look, how much because we're also, part of the things we talked about is how much it costs to run an election. This is coming from the Economic Times. How much does it take to elect a U.S. president? That is the epitome of democracy, as it were. I'll read from
Questionably, but I'll take
Running for president isn't cheap. First line.
Okay.
The earlier one announces his or her candidacy, the higher the cost. Now, let me skip. There is no limit to how much a candidate can spend on their campaign. For some, costs can even run up to $1 billion, not naira. $1 billion. Okay. So the point I'm making is...
That's the size of the country as compared to Nigeria. Like Nigeria is just one
but we're not even doing $1 billion. We're not doing $1 billion.
Why do
How much is 1 million naira?
Why do we copy America?
100 million.
I'm not saying. I'm putting it in perspective.
I like the... Yeah, but
it's not cheap.
I have a question for her too.
Yeah.
Please, let me just quickly ask this question, because one of the things people consider is the money for running the campaign. Does it come from the party or from the individual? This 100 million, is that what it will take to run the entire campaign?
Let me give you an instance. I am a lawyer. That is my daytime job. My nighttime job is to be a wife and a mother.
Okay.
That's my nighttime.
You do things, we know. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The other room, sir.
I don't understand, though.
Please continue.
I talk about the other room. I don't know.
Nighttime. I'm not asking you what
to I have gotten support from people that I didn't even expect it from.
Okay.
Say, you, Casey, I like the move you're making. It is bold, it's audacious. The money that I've spent in the last 3 months, I've come from friends and family. Okay. I haven't had to, you know. So if I'm going to pay for my nomination form right now,
you know that you won't have to fund it.
Now, take an example. As at yesterday, I understand that people have started cutting 100 million check. It hasn't even, I was reading as I was coming in.
Isn't that worrisome?
Hey.
No, but is it not? No, please. I want to understand. Please hold on. Let's.
This is the problem. Because we are all selfish. Listen, we are all selfish. We only think of me.
Sure.
And so there are students that are not going to school. Be philanthropic. If you have 100 million to give somebody,
but people are doing that already.
No, they're still at home.
No, please. My question is it not worrisome to every one of you?
You will?
Really?
Yes, if I had the money, yes.
What is the contractual relationship you have with them?
No.
You can give a school a grant, but not ASU.
Okay, that's true.
You cannot.
Legally, you can't pay ASU. But I want to ask you.
In the school and support people. But they are doing it now.
Excuse me, I've donated this money towards students going back to school.
So have I.
Okay, so that's not our topic. Our topic is 100 million for form, and the question now is that is it fair for us to have that amount of money?
What is fair is debatable.
The question you should ask, is it morally correct?
Who is the moral parameter?
Then
in this
we are asking plenty questions. When we come back, we'll answer all these questions. Okay. Another question we should ask is, should we investigate everywhere that money comes from to be sure the money is legitimate? When we come back, we'll continue all these questions, and we hope you will join the conversation to answer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Thanks for staying with us. YouTube is on fire with this topic, and I'm sure Twitter is like that too. But our phone lines are buzzing, and Chidi has called from Kafancha. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Dr. Mark.
Thank you for joining.
Good morning, the barrister in your midst.
Good morning.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
As a matter of fact, I take interest in the topic of discussion concerning the prices of buying forms as the parties have so far released. This amount is so humongous that whomsoever that is willing to provide this amount of money, for instance, 100 million, to buy a form and become the next Nigeria's president, I am worried because the person might not give Nigerians effective leadership.
Yes, I agree.
This is a country where some families are finding it absolutely difficult to feed themselves 3 square meals a day. This is a country where salaries are not paid for an upward of 6 months and above. This is a country where criminals, bandits, and other problems are not allowing farmers to go to their respective farms. I urge the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, the leading party in the country for now, to take a critical look at this amount and see how it could be drastically reduced.
You've already agreed.
So yes, I like what the caller just said. He just sort of landed my point. A leader is someone who takes advice from another country, applies it to his own country the way it will suit. So, for instance, if I see what Tope is doing about raising her kids and some measures that she's putting in place, I'm not a fool to copy her hook, line, and sinker. I'm supposed to take the good things that she's doing, come home, understand the sort of children that I have, and modify it. So if you say, okay, America is spending so and so, elections are very expensive there, America does not have the sort of issues that we have. America is not fighting the sort of battles that we have. Their issues are peculiar, our issues are peculiar. We have been saying that the cost of governance is too expensive for Nigerians. We are spending so much governing nothing. We do not see the result of the governance. And a wise leader will sit down and say, how can we make this cost of how can we reduce this cost of governance? Should we start from the ticket? Can we make this ticket free? Let us screen people, not because of what you have or your pedigree, like somebody said, but because of your capacities. Should we screen people who will get in there to do the work and not thinking of recouping the money that they have spent? Should we, because after spending this money, so now listen, people will contribute. The people contributing, anybody who has the capacity to contribute this amount of money will want something in return. And so they give you their list. Exactly. Give you their list. You must put this person, put that person, put this person. Before you realize everything, you do not have the money to work with. You do not have the money to fix infrastructure. You do not have the money to send the children back to school. You do not have the money. Inflation is going up every day. People are suffering. Every day I sit down here, I get DMs of people that are hungry. I pay school fees of people that I don't even know. I can't keep saying no to everybody. I have to do my means. And yet, another person is scoffing out a huge sum of money to support one person who will get there and recoup this money back. This is becoming business. We have said we want leaders who are not going there to just benefit from the national cake. The national cake has finished.
So everybody hold on.
Okay.
Let's take Ose's conversation. Ose wants to join the conversation from Delta State. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Hi,
good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to talk about the topic that talks about the form purchase. There's nowhere in the world where politics is cheap. Politics is very expensive. You are going for power. Even in Russia and the United States, it's very expensive. Yeah. You pay financially, physically, and spiritually. So I think it's normal. If it's very cheap, everybody will be buying the form, and we will have about 2,000 aspirants for the presidency. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I like what the conversation was going to, and I want to just state this way. Are we being realistic about the cost of funding elections in Nigeria? Are we not still dealing with a Nigeria that still asks for stomach infrastructure at every point? So let's be realistic.
I want us to, look, there's a divergence between elections and governance. We're putting the two together. Okay. What we're talking about is not the cost of governance. We're talking about election and the electioneering process.
It starts from there.
Well, you see, there might be a point of overlap, but technically not. So if, for example, I contest to be the president of Nigeria, and nobody is saying you have to do it on the platform of APC, you know.
Which other platform is there?
There is PDP, there is APGA. How many registered political parties are there in Nigeria? So I wanted to put that on the table, you know. Let's be clear about that. We're saying APC. APC is just one of many. So what is, you know, we're going on and on about APC. It's one of many, number one. Number two, there's a difference between the cost of electioneering and the cost of governance. Number three, I still insist, there is a pedigree that you must bring to the table before you can say you want to be governor.
Just to support that point. Just support that point. If you cannot, if you are not leadership,
what do you have to offer the country?
If you don't have enough leadership,
will you vote for your driver to be president of Nigeria? Will you?
Excuse me. It's my driver now.
No. If he comes now, it's
but
free.
Will you vote for me? Will my driver vote for me, even if I don't have the money to be...
No, you have not answered my question. Don't answer the question with the question. Will you vote for your driver?
Listen,
I talked about pedigree.
It's my driver.
There's a pedigree. YK, let me hear YK.
I just want to say something, I beg. I am not talking about governance, and I'm saying when you aspire with so much money to become president of Nigeria, my problem is, what are you thinking of as your gain? Is it that when you use 100 million to buy the form, when you get there, you will look for 100 billion?
Before.
Or is it an investment? Because to me now,
it's an investment business.
Presidency, being a president is now seeming like
as a business
venture. It's not looking like I want to go and help my country. I haven't finished. Answer your call. Answer your call.
All right, I've been given permission by YK to answer Oladimeji, who has called from Songo.
Go ahead.
Oladimeji, welcome to the show.
Oh, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Oladimeji. I'm calling from Songo, sir.
Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Okay. You see, the issue about this APC nomination form of 100 billion for presidency is really a very, very, very bad omen for our future leaders. Because I can't imagine a country where people hardly eat, where people hardly feed, where a grown-up family man with five
struggling.
Where a family man with 5 kids strive hard to collect 230,000 naira every month. And imagine our politicians are coming to sell a presidential form for 100 million. This is totally uncalled for. They really have to. Our students, Nigerian students are back home.
Meji, you're just, you know, you're expressing the same worry we've heard on this table, and I can understand many Nigerians are sharing that same opinion, but we're trying to make it as divergent as possible. YK.
So I haven't finished. So when you now use that kind of money
to buy just form,
you have because I hear you about contribution. This is contribution just for form. This is not contribution
for campaign.
For campaign. No, this is not contribution to be working the whole local government of Nigeria. This is only for paper. Paper.
You will see
paper. No, there is one. One is the paper is
interest.
70 million. Then when I just say I want to be president,
no, it's YK.
It's equal to 100 million. Yeah. Now, the second thing I want to ask, because I know all the people who have
indicated
interest in that party to become president. Ministers, vice president is there, clinical labor, clinical is there, attorney general.
The money from.
So, me, if I'm EFCC, I will look for who. If you are a political office holder and you drop that money, I will find out where you got that money. That's
okay.
Number one.
So,
number two, tax people. Look, shine your eye. Anybody who does 100 million, check his tax record. Has he been paying tax? That's the only thing I want to say. I rest my case.
You know, somebody just
YK, this stop.
Because you will not come and ask me that I'm making tax for tax.
Yakub has called in on the show. Let's hear what Yakub has to say on this topic. Yakub, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Sister Tope, and then Sister Yedi, good morning. Obi, and then your guest.
Good morning, good morning.
Tope, beautiful name.
As far as I'm concerned, your guest in your midst, she said something earlier that it is not compulsory to go and buy from APC, which is true. True. You can go to any other party. But the question is that, apart from APC and PDP in this country, what other party that you can go and contest to be a president of this country and then you won the election? I can tell you for free, that's none. That is the truth. But basically, don't let us look at that very particular form, 100 billion in loans. Yes, the money is so high, I agree. But they know the people that want to fight for that very particular place. They know themselves. They know they can afford that money. That is why they put it high. But they did some certain thing right. One of which is that if you are under 40 years age, they slash the money by 50%. Meanwhile, if you are 30-something or 40 years of age, you may not be able to even afford that 50 million as well. But they should do something that I really like. If you are a woman and then you are fight for political party in that very particular party, the form is free. The form is free. So if you are fighting for House of Representatives or the State House of Assembly, the money is just 2 million. But basically what I'm trying to say this morning is that if you buy the form 100 million, yes, the first thing the person that won the election will definitely done is that to recruit that very particular amount of money for. That is the truth. But the people that we saw in APC today, that they want to become a president of this country, they already have the liquid. I don't think that one is a problem. So basically, I'm praying we should be able to have a good leader in this country. Any amount of money they pay, we are less concerned. When you get here, we should be able to give us what we need. If you don't give us, Nigerian citizens should be able to protest and then fight against them.
Okay, so we're going to come. We're taking a break.
Something. Or all the people who have indicated...
Just a second.
Just one thing.
Sorry.
Somebody is... Okay.
All the people that have indicated, they all have they are all stakeholders in that party and inside governments.
Two things.
Sorry.
Someone put a comment and said, can they take Sunday idea? You know, the person should ask the party. But again, we must not lose focus of the fact that at least they've done one thing for the women. That is an effort.
I don't have a problem with it.
That is an effort.
You have problems. Please, you see, we will have problem with everything. No, but many people complaining.
Thank you, APC.
Many people complaining. Hello.
No, it's too low.
Many people are complaining on social media and they don't have their PVC. And a million complaints on social media will not change the result of the election. Number one. Number two, 100 million can come from 100,000 people contributing 1,000 naira each.
Exactly.
100,000 people just dropping 1,000 naira can say All these people, I don't want them. I want, yes. If we want to change this country, we need to stop tweeting and writing behind our phone. Put your money down and say, I want this person that is not popular. I want APC to become my president. I will gather the money and let her get the form. We will work together. But we need to stop lip service because it costs a lot of money to run an election in this country. And they have to use money to create a benchmark to reduce noise. Because you will now have 50 presidential candidates, all of them saying they want to get to the internal ballot. When in that fact they cannot raise 100 million. If you cannot raise 100 million, you cannot raise the 1 billion necessary to run the election. So let's be realistic. I don't like what is happening, but it is the reality on ground. And with that, we have come to the end of this segment. I am the host for today. We have come to the end of this segment.
We will give you a free form.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we change our topic. You go and argue on Twitter. Go and argue on Instagram.